I've met so many people before this event, and I know they write, and I would tell them, why don't you come? This is a good platform for you to come and read your poem. And everyone's so like, no, I'm afraid, no. And people that are like over 30, and they don't have your courage. So this is like amazing that you're here, all right?
Doing your best. Doing your best can always help, especially during a test. No matter what, at least you tried your best. The first time will always make you nervous. But once you get into it, it's much easier for you to do it. Be prepared for what is coming, because you'll never know what will happen. Be it acting on stage or reciting something, doesn't matter, at least you participated. So that's why I am here to tell you to do your best so that you can achieve it. So take anything as a chance before you can't do it. Thank you.
Latin rai. Don't know what bas ngau melung. Kayay kan oot hin. Hagitway ba no rempum. But hapo kisan rang mau linterlin. Hakasanya jong kamit. Kat no katrang hir. Ban yo kejat. Wat tang shiwat. Hayeng umen barim. Ha kata kajung. Baka jing pale. Kataplup. Yaki jing huslai bat jingling amen sim. Ubnai utbe jing shai. Hapdeng kamiet kaya. Ban pen idak pen ishin. Baka step kam slam sho. Bat ka jing kermen. Ha kerdop yeng kayai kerdo. Hasau dong galing wer depe. Kishong ya tu kana. Da kiktien biria. Shikitli kasha bat nam plok plong. Bat ka jareu hadam. Bai imerad ipon. Kia bam lang shiyeng sisem. Lembat ukwai mar shikentien. Ban pler ktien kiong. Hae shopat kum kita kisngi. Ngin syam hakani kaya kabamenta. Hababun sien Latin rai ngiso dam. Da uternya bajwat shisha. Thank you so much.
This is a poem that I wrote back in 2022 on the occasion of 50 years of statehood of Meghalaya. The title of the poem is Meghalaya, United Then, United Now. Ever since the enthralling year of 1972, after a calamitous period, it finally came. The state of Assam broke into two. Our beloved Meghalaya was henceforth proclaimed, spanning from the confounded forest of Than Maudam in the north to the singing village of Kongtong in the south, from the bewailing Jinjiram River in the west to the alluring Krang Suri in the east, hails the voice of 2.3 million exuberant souls, the diverse and bewitching tribes of this land, living with one another in tranquility as a whole, the Jantyas, the Khasis and the Garos, brotherly united hand in hand. In the Himalayan cloud, Tirot Singh reigned supreme. Amongst the Khasis, patriotism he redeemed, led his people against the British and stopped at not a thing. Although defeated, he died a martyred king. Amongst the Achiks, amalgamations was restored. Under Patugan Sangma, the fearless Ross exhort. Together their uprising struck the British at its core. The British, left dumbstruck, could dealt with it no more. Elsewhere, Kyang Nongba stirred insurrection in the Jantya domain, but was apprehended on trial. He said these words but feigned. If my head leans eastward, freedom will be obtained. Upon death, his head tilted to the east, struggles not in vain. Coming back to contemporary Meghalaya 2023, hatred and selfishness everywhere is seen. Is this what our dear ancestors would have won? If carried on, our children's future it will haunt. Hence, my fellow friends, it is time for us to wake up and come together. Let us not allow our diverse identity to separate us further. We were united, are united, and will be for the coming years. We are proud citizens of Meghalaya. Let that ring in every ear. Thank you.
जब जुगनू आते हैं, रोशनी लाते हैं, उजियारे बिखराते हैं, जीवन के अंधेरे में उम्मीद का दीप जलाते हैं. जिनकी खो गई थी आशा, उनको नई राह बताते हैं. सपनों के साथ लेकर आते हैं, खुशियों के फूल बिखराते हैं. चलो उनके साथ चलें, नई जिंदगी का सफ़र तय करें. आज उनके साथ हम सबको नई उम्मीदों से सजाते हैं। जब जुगनू आते हैं, रोशनी लाते हैं, उजियारे बिखराते हैं, जीवन के अंधेरे में उम्मीद का दीप जलाते हैं। थैंक यू।
Maybe it's the road and not the goal, the journey to be taken, not the crunchulating face, but the memories never to be shaken. Maybe it's the experience which let us grow on the outside. You will see no difference, but how the inside might just glow. You turn around and you see, you walk 1,000 miles alone, and you are left with an empty feeling, not a footstep left on the stone. Sure, you could talk about the journey, but people will always ask if you reach the end. And on some journeys, you don't make it. That's what most of them will never understand. So I walk 1,000 miles, but couldn't make it to the finish line. But that's not a reason to be disappointed, for the journey was all mine. Maybe you need to try it twice. Without practice, there is no glory. And at some point, you will make it. And that's when people ask to hear your story.
As the sky darkens, the night falls. The birds retire to their nests, the animals to their caves and dens. A peaceful evening it would have been, had a horrified shriek not rippled through the air. They all come running with the last few bits of hope, a wail from having it broken, before they all fall down to the floor. The kitchenware crashes, the soup spilled all over the boards. The tears fell endlessly, but time could not be reversed. The small pale body laid limp upon the bed, the glassy eyes void of all life, the heart that once was beating, now as still as stone. Once again had the struggle been worthless, once again had the efforts failed, once again did humanity weep, once again had life sent her gift. As death holds the tender soul, he carries it gently with ease and sorrow, for life would never take them back, and so he from them would never part. But death could hardly ever stay, and life could never seem to wait. They met eyes again in a cold stormy blizzard, lies gift to death buried beneath the snow. As his ghastly fingers part the freezing sand, he gently takes the young soul. Life, my dear, have you ever stopped to ponder the fate of these lovely souls, had you kept them longer? No, my love, I haven't, but why do you ask? I wondered, had you not once noticed the pain, sorrow, and misery within you? You are broken, dear life. Every time I get your gift, I feel your heart fall. And yet, why is it that you keep sending them to me? You are beautiful, I am not. You are loved, and I am locked behind hazard lines. These precious souls are your sweet creations. How can they be held by something as miserable as I am? To this, life smiled softly. I shall break either way, dearest death. No matter how many times I am reborn to creation, destruction is addictive. I will lose a part of my beauty every second, every minute, and that part will be yours. Cruel yet lovely, you bring peace to suffering souls, for they rest with you. I play their illusions, I bring them time, but it scars creation. How many have sought you for comfort? In the end, you are who we seek. I stand with your truths, because after every race, I'm always running to you, waiting at the end.
You farted because you didn't want to be with him, but you were not willing to stay with me, were you? I fell asleep before him in your memory, so he complained to his mistress about me. Her shiny hand came through my windows into my eyes and woke me up, but can't shatter my love and focus because I was thinking about you at that moment. Anna, it means mom. You are beautiful as flower, and I wanted to make you you're beautiful as flower, and I wanted to make you walk on a flowery path, but my dreams remains as it is, and I ashamed of myself because I can't make it as I thought. And if I see a shooting stars, I'll wish you come back to me. And you said when I have a hard time, you would come back to me, and I'm still waiting for you to come back. But I feel you've forgotten about me. You gave me this wound that I can't heal and rub out of my psyche. So I'm waiting for you to fix it like it was before. Thank you.
Last to last night, I saw a sight. The moon and the star embraced the night. The moon was happily glowing while the star was secretly distancing. I saw it last night. The star had taken its flight. The moon stood there still, looking at his beloved move away in frill. The sky around them was twinkling as the promises they made were echoing, fading it all away like the depth of a night in a sway. The star still shone very bright, while the moon wheeled itself from sight. The star had a light of its own to shine, but the moon, once bright, lost its light. On my terrace today I stood, gazing up where the starlight stood. The star shone all alone, but the moon, it wasn't there anymore. Thank you.
In the morning, when Kasni looks down on our land, does she ever grieve the peacock's pride? Do the clouds carry her tears to this land to comfort, glow in his Harayat for heaven? Are we then like him here on earth with a longing to leave? Did we also, in our pride, left heaven in search for better things? That is all. Thank you very much for listening.
Ubabu hajam kisor sing nongbri. Nalaying, hooi nalaying, niam Unitarian lasdang nengkong. Day ubalay balapha yu nong prad, ya jingdom banbe banyo jendat. Sharak katbe leer kayay be, jinged bid bat bani bid, shajingay banbe. Shlur bantaba, shajrong ladong musa. Lashnong lathaw ngin pansawa, shakaparthay ngin ruay ngin perta, bejingsuk kan sensyar ha perthay menta. Ulong riu kraw bashempang, katho katar hangi lasanyang, ubriu badon kasap, bat yo ijingay, unyaw kor burom yaktin khasi. Unitarian Free School useng, luduk lusuk, ban ai jing stad, ban ai jing tip. Kiktin khasi ba utho, ki bet bat syai ba. Ulong, kabanta, kabakraw, hakbantho shibon yakari, kerteng kapaw kumuway nong tho batbit. Kijing yaw ben syakren ben bat kentho sniw, klems pensngap hunong thaw udem way brew. Kiding jet hajam ban klet tengim day, hey hongi ki samla jing shngain kalaway. Da jing sngew kane lat ngashim, kum ha unis nem, lengko shispa snem kajing klat jong u. Bor badon bor bahalor sngew bah ban itho no ye u. Thank you, let's keep on progressing.
In a small village, where the sun shone on both sides, and the sky was the only sea we knew, I gave birth to my first child. The hearth was warm, the dishes kept piling. We're running out of mullah, said uncle, because the guests kept coming. Take mine, said auntie, as she sat on the floor instead. When the waft of pudo melted into celebration, the kids drooled. The milk in the tea was as thick as my joy. Grandfather had just picked a hen for dinner, and the neighbors could smell the tungrambai inhabit their rooms. When the clan had gathered to name this nameless child, they named it Love, and Love was beautiful, beautiful but blind. Love grew up to be kind, invited unknown guests to supper, but Love was robbed each time. When it gave its jankup through the cold, they left it naked. When it sung, they slit its throat. When it fed the hungry, it was bitten. And although gifts were given, they were stolen because Love was blind. But that didn't matter because Love was kind. When Love had loved well, it was buried. That day, the rain had wet somebody's clothes that almost dried. The sun wasn't shining on either side. The children stopped playing Ladikut Usaitalai, as if they knew the thread that bound mine had been detached. The women pasted lime on beetle leaves for kwai. The hen was spared, but the pig was slaughtered. The dog howled and the cat curled beneath the bed where Love was rested. I sat on the floor, mourning until my eyes swelled. They fed me pumpkin and plain rice, following young girls who had been offering red tea for 100 time. For 3 days and 3 nights, the doors were left open for love's soul to fly to heaven. But when the soot from the rice pots had been cleaned and the curtains washed, when service was over and the coffin had been laid, even then, grief stayed. Thank you.
Door always measured time, but never had time for me. He was always counting the minutes, but never knew my days were counting. He never knew the number of freckles on my nose, but knew exactly how many minutes there was in an hour. In a world where no one knew time, he never had enough time for me. He spent his days measuring sticks and stones, and I spent measuring the hours he would return home. As I lay here breathing my last second of life, Door was not in sight. He was probably measuring another nanosecond. But I breathed my last, loving him to the very last second. And Door sat there by the riverbed, counting time. I would never knew that he rushes back, leaving behind his sticks and stones and minutes and seconds, and gather me in his arms. Door had loved me every second of his life, but he never spent a second of it with me. Thank you.
In the garden of emotions where shadows play, the moonlight weaves tales in its own mystical way. Each blossom, a chapter, delicate and profound, melancholy falls like cherry blossoms on the ground. As the night unfolds a canvas of dreams, silhouettes dance by the moonlit streams. Whispers of yesteryears, a soft haunting sound, echo through time where memories abound. A gentle breeze carries fragment of sighs, unraveling stories written in the skies. Silent symphonies of heartstrings are unwound, melancholy falls like cherry blossoms on the ground. Through the corridors of time we wander, in the realm of emotions our hearts ponder. A symphony of silence, a profound surround, where echoes of love and the night are found. The cherry blossoms, like fleeting dreams, cradle the moonbeams in silver streams. In the hush of the night, the stillness crowned, melancholy falls like cherry blossoms on the ground. With every petal that gracefully descends, a tale of longing of timeless immense, the dance of emotions, a ballad profound, in the moonlit garden where sorrows are drowned. As the minutes weave through the loom of night, stars witness the ballad of emotions taking flight. Through the corridors of solitude we are bound, melancholy falls like cherry blossoms on the ground. In this ode to the silent night, where emotions paint the sky with hues so bright, a timeless journey in a universe unbound as melancholy cascades like blossoms on the ground. Thank you.
She hides herself when she's most beautiful. She clothes herself with luminous grace. Her lustrous desires never ceases as she peeks on every face. She hears the young ones cry and the soft moans of the sky. To her, every secret is known, every pain unveiled. She sees the wounds of little women, the romantic dates of young lovers. Some days it's murderous attempts. She can save not a single soul. She hears the silence of the city and the roar of a man's heart. To her, every desire is revealed, every soul is uncovered as she clothes herself with luminous grace. Thank you.
Wow.
Okay, so the first poem that I will be reciting is What I Thirst For. Mercy, a word which I've known to exist beneath the clouds and betwixt the earth. Familiar it is, but farthest to be heard. My name has a spell of it, which sounds to make my identity more fancy and fit. But I must tell you, unworthily I still carry it. Wars flung on the east and the west, a minute away to hearing headlines about hundreds of deaths. With a war in my head, I merely walk in the street, but helpless though I am in every facet. You see, my beloved suffered an agony that it found means to even lay his body eternally. I see my kins and friends, brawls in unknown dark battles, but helpless though I am, to even assist them with a lighting lamp. I am hung out of the blue. No wonder where do I stand, or where shall I turn to? But I know for sure that I desperately thirst for peace to master this universe.
Yeah, who wants to go first? Come on. Okay, please go.
Instead of talking about the problems, we just smile to other people and then hide the pain.
I question my worth in this moment of gloom. Comparisons not. Doubt took its toll.
My poem is, I just wrote into the morning, don't mind, okay, my grammar is crap. I came from an English medium school, just so that my principal ma'am won't see me. Okay, it goes like this, okay. The title of the poem is The Void. Scary, right? it's the verse, okay? Scary, right? Right from the word itself. It signifies many things, good as well as bad. In a place of constant happiness, you will find out many good things. In a place full of constraints, full of pressure, that you become numb, becoming fully blank. Like the black hole in the galaxy, feeling lost, feeling pain, sorrow, and of course, stress. As a person searching for one's goal, you came across many things, some that's an inspiration and some unforeseen things. But hey, avoid is avoid, right? With the right mind, the choices will be clear. And remember, put God first. Yep, He's here, okay? Fighting the unseen battles and winning over them. So in the end, let the void be just void. A fragment in your life. Thank you.
Nadok Menta from today onwards. I'll tell the world I write this poem. Well, yeah, writing a poem won't change much, but action and unity, we can overcome gender disparity. Jinkamen de kohok long spa bakordor, contation rangkari, absnyao kadang kut ipor. Come, sit here, I can kakti, ngan bat kumni. Give me your hands, and I'll hold them tightly. Hush, dreams of an equal world, diverse and discrimination free.
This haunting is a predestination, and the unkind ghost of isolation knows my concrete better than I do, which is to say, I do not recognize my body at all. So now, when I move towards you with open palms facing the sun, it is with the entirety of my being. I carry within me unclean highways and vandalized prayer rooms that promise a kind of reeking love. I want you to stay and prove me wrong. Thank you.